welcome back to my channel. Those that are new here, my name is Poppy. I created this channel to document our journey of me and my family moving to Canada. We were due to move in August, had a slight hiccup. I go back through the videos if you want to know kind of what happened. Long and short of it is we didn't end up going in August after leaving our home and giving all up of our stuff. All of our stuff's gone, ready for the move. It didn't go that way. We had a little bit of a hiccup, which, as many of you know that have gone through the journey, is quite common. There's a lot of red tape to get through. We just had to submit some more paperwork. Obviously, as you can see, it's now Christmas almost. We're in December and we are not in Canada So I just thought I'd hop on. Obviously, I'm quite aware I've not done a vlog in a while. I think I've been busy. I've been busy with my new temp job and you know, kids and family life, and just trying to keep myself as busy as possible. With our situation, I think is the only way that I've probably managed to... This is a pen. How strange. Yeah, it's been a bit crazy. I think I've been trying to keep myself as busy as I possibly can to deal with the mental strain on everything. On me especially, I think I've struggled like in my head a lot. I beat myself up a lot mentally, so I try and pull myself through just by keeping busy. But then when I'm less busy, it's like I get this flood of emotions that my brain can't quite process, and I just get really overwhelmed. So thankfully I've got my wonderful husband that pulls me through those things. I just thought, yeah, so basically where we're at, we've not really heard anything since we submitted the information. So we did our work permit in August 2022. It was, at the time it said the processing time would be 13 weeks. We then submitted a TRP, which is the temporary resident permit, because of some old convictions that Jordan has, quite minor, but that's what we needed to do. That's basically why we didn't end up going in August, because they just wanted more information. Yeah, so we submitted that in September. We then contacted them in October because we hadn't heard anything from them. You know, just at least to say, you know, we've got it or what have you. So I contacted immigration in October. They did get back to me and say, we have received the TRP and we have attached it to your work permit. We did that on the 22nd of September, and just wait to hear from us, basically. It's now December. We also, in August, we contact our local MP for where we live now in the UK, and we asked him if he would be willing to contact immigration on our behalf, which he did. He did actually do that for us recently. He did get a response from them, just basically saying, you know, we've passed it on to High Commission. Thank you for contacting us. It did actually say at the bottom, we will be contacting the applicant, because obviously we can't discuss, for data protection purposes, we can't discuss the application with you. So we will be contacting the applicant. They have not contacted me. It then said at the bottom, if we haven't, please get the applicant to contact us. I have also done that. They have not responded. It said 3 to 5 working days. It's way past that now. Haven't heard anything. It just comes back and says, you know, we're really struggling. We're prioritising the Ukraine nationals at the moment, and we're doing our best, basically, and we're sorry for the wait time and we can't give you an exact time, but we are processing it, is the gist of the information that they can give me. Now, our situation currently isn't ideal. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos, we have been living in my dad's 2-bedroom house with my dad and his partner. So there's 6 of us in the house at the moment, and our dog as well, 2 children.
What are you doing, Mama?
I'm just doing a video. Do you want to say hello?
Who's on the video?
It's just me and you on the video at the moment. He's watching The Grinch. Yeah, so our living situation currently isn't ideal. So we kind of gave ourselves back in August, September. My dad, obviously we moved into my dad's house temporarily for a week, the week before we're due to fly, just so we had like a week to stay together. We gave up our old house. It was meant to be a week. It's now been 17 weeks. And yeah, it's not been ideal, but we've managed really well. No arguments or anything, which is great. Luckily, we're all quite close and we get on really well. So it's great. Obviously not saying that hasn't been tough on people individually. I know I've really struggled with it. And my husband has, just not about each other, just more the situation that we found ourselves in, you know, because we're just in limbo, we're just waiting, and that wait is like it's a killer. Like you're just kind of stuck. So yeah, it's been tough, but we did kind of give ourselves until Christmas. We said, you know, at Christmas, if we've not heard anything, worst case scenario, which is the worst case scenario, we're now in it. We've not heard anything. It is only like I think it's like the 7th or 8th of December today. And we've not heard anything. I was hoping, if we said, you know, if we're here before the 15th, we'll still go before Christmas. But if we're here after the 15th, we'll wait until January. We've not heard anything. And basically now I've been on like the vlogs, not the vlogs, the pages on Facebook, on social media of people moving. Somebody recently put on there, you know, is anybody else waiting for their work permit from the UK? And this guy was in the same situation as us. He's waiting for he's got his LMIA. He's got a job waiting for him. He applied in June and he's still waiting. So that's annoying, because that means he's been waiting like 6 months. 6 months for us is like February, March. I wasn't prepared to wait that long. But at the same time now, it's like we've come so far to just throw in the towel. I did wake up this morning, I rang Jordan and said, look, we do need to start thinking about a plan B now. Like this is not ideal. We can't live in this situation for, you know, a really long time. We need to think about it. Jordan really doesn't want to think about it. He's like, no, it's coming, just be positive. And I'm like, I am being positive, but I'm also trying to be slightly realistic of our situation with our children. Like, it's not ideal the way we're living. Oh, bless you. It's my dog. It's not particularly ideal. So yeah, I had a bit of a thing. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. My mental state is going to go, woo. It didn't though. I rang my best friend and I kind of said, you know, I don't know what to do. Because I feel like when I talk to my husband about it, he worries that I'm going to go like downhill in my emotions, like I'm going to get overwhelmed. And he's like, look, just stay positive. Everything's going to be okay. Bless his heart. He's only doing what he thinks is best for me. But I kind of need to have a realistic conversation to be like, look, come on, which is fine. We've had it. But I needed to talk to my best friend first. And I was like, look, babe, what do I do? Now, we are in a slightly fortunate situation because my stepmom does actually have another house that is empty. I know you're probably all thinking, like, why don't you move into that? It's a little bit far away. It's about 45 minutes from where we live now. And obviously I didn't move in there because of the children's school. When I put them back in school, I thought it's just too much. Our work was here, Jordan's work was here. Didn't make sense to move that far away, especially with the cost of like fuel nowadays. It would cost a fortune. So we kind of put that on the back burner and didn't really give it a second thought. Now, with our situation now, we're getting towards January. It could still come at any time now. So that's great. But also we have to prepare that if it's not, we're not willing to wait in this situation, we need to, you know, find our own place. Now, that alone brings its own difficulties. So we didn't own a house. We've saved up money. We've managed to do quite well with our savings in the time that we did it. However, since living in this situation, even though we're not paying rent, we're still kind of paying, you know, gas and electric. If you know, in England, that's gone wild at the moment. We got a bill for a month. It was £660. So we paid half of that. We kind of split it between my dad and my stepmom. Everybody's obviously feeling the crunch of the like living situation across the UK. So yeah, we do still have outgoings. Just because we're not paying rent, we still have outgoings in regards to obviously like heating, gas, electric, I'll say gas and electric, the heating bills, things like that. And our car, we pay for our car still, insurance, things like that. It's not massive, but also my son's birthday has just gone, so we got him some bits, which was difficult because it's like, what do you get him that it needs to be small enough to take with us? All of those things in mind have been a little bit of a nightmare. So yeah, it's not been ideal. So we haven't got, you know, tens and tens of thousands of pounds stacked up. We haven't. We are very fortunate in the respect of we've moved in with my dad. There is another house available. We are now considering potentially moving in there in January. Like I say, it is empty. It needs carpets. It's been empty for about 2 years now. We're thinking, okay, we may just have to move in. It's only temporary because if we moved into another place locally, got another house, we'd have to pay the deposit, we'd have to buy all new furniture, so on and so on and so on. The money that we have saved currently is to do that in Canada. I've saved enough money to do that in Canada where we can pay our first month's and our last month's rent, get our furniture, our bedding, our clothes, because it's winter season at the moment, so we'd need all new coats and snow boots, things like that. So I've got that saved. Now, if I was to go out and get a house in the UK now, I'd have to spend that money, which is not really what I want to do. So I do have this plan of potentially in January, if we've not heard anything still, touch wood, fingers crossed, we will hear something. But if we don't, we have to be open to the fact that we may be waiting as long as this other guy, which is like 6 months. So my plan is we're going to move in to my stepmom's house, which is like 45 minutes away. So that would mean moving the children's schools again, which is not ideal. But like my best friend, she said to me, you know, it's all about perspective. You're making a huge saving. If you think that's far away, you're about to move across the world. 45 minutes is nothing. Give it a go. You might only be there a month. We might be there 2. I can't imagine it being like near a year. That's crazy. But if we were to move into a property here, another pros and cons I'm thinking, we would have to do like a minimum tenancy, you know. What if we moved in a month and then we got the work permit in a month? We would have to wait. Whereas in this situation, we don't have to do that. We don't have like a tenancy, minimum tenancy, anything like that. We can literally just be like, right, yep, done it. And the thing is, because my dad wants to sell this other house, while we're there, because it's quite far away, it's just my dad, it's like, it's out of the way. I'm not going and doing the work on it. It's out of my way, blah, blah, blah. While I'm there, I can do the work on it. I can decorate it. I can get it ready. So if she wants to sell it or move someone in, we can do that. So that is kind of my plan. I spoke to Jordan about it. He thinks, you know, yeah, it's great. We have had a bit of a situation recently with work. So we're working for the same company. I got this work with this company. I've then brought my husband in because they needed a joiner. I got this work with this company. I was cleaning for this company. If you see my TikTok, you will see some of the things I've been dealing with. That is crazy. That's a whole different story. But yeah, they needed a joiner, so I brought my husband in to do some of the work because they had some cowboys doing the work, and my gosh, that was crazy. So yeah, I've got my husband in, he's doing it now. Jordan's doing all the work for them. And the work is genuinely based around where that other house is, so it could potentially be great. However, we're back down to 1 vehicle again now, so that means that I have not been able to go out. It's only been a week. I've not been able to go out and do the cleaning that I was doing before, and I was earning some quite good money on it. However, Jordan earns a lot more money than I do. So his job, obviously, as you can imagine, takes priority over that because, you know, the more money we need, as much money as we can, you know. So yeah, that's kind of the current situation that we're living with at the moment. of where we are in the situation. I did wonder if perhaps, I'm not sure, you guys might not know, but those of you that have done this process, so basically when you submit your work permit or your application, whatever it may be, it will say on there, it takes 13 weeks or 10 weeks, whatever the wait time is, to complete a complete application. Now, because we added to our complete application, our application was sent in August, we've then added additional information in September. I'm wondering now, because it says the processing time will start once we've received your complete application. I'm wondering whether because now we've sent additional information, that will now be classed as a complete application because we've added something. So they will go from the time that we sent our TRP in, which was the 22nd of September, their processing time currently is 10 weeks. So that would mean 10 weeks from the 22nd of September, which was Wednesday just gone. So it could be any time now, potentially. It did, however, say when I submitted it that it would go on the work permit timeline. So it is just delayed, but it's like, how long is it going to be delayed? I have to figure out our situation now. So, yeah, I've got a plan. I'm not going to go into a meltdown. I'm not going to go into a complete tiz about things. I've talked it over with my best friend and we came to a brilliant solution within minutes. Fantastic. We've got this. It's not ideal and it's not exactly what we expected. But if I think about the bigger picture, and it's all about perspective, as much as it isn't ideal, it will also mean we'll get to spend Christmas with our family. We are fortunate enough to have another house available without having to spend all of our money. I've got just random bits of furniture that I could fill the house with, even if it's just for a month. It's fine. Me and my husband are currently sleeping on the living room floor. We were sleeping on an airbed for 12 weeks. I've now been and bought a mattress because the airbed's popped. But I have a mattress. I can get a divan bed. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. I can figure that out. Not only that, should we not hear something back until February or March, the worst part of the winter is over, which means spring and summer are right around the corner. They are all positives, you know. Moving over in winter is not ideal, you know. Moving over to Canada when it's like -20 ain't ideal, especially if you've never experienced that kind of cold before. We haven't bought clothes for that kind of cold. The clothes that we have in the UK are not suitable for Canadian weather. So we've put off buying all of our winter stuff until we actually land. So yeah, that's also a bonus. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. It's all about perspective. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. We're going to get this all sorted and we'll be in Canada very soon. I will let you know when. That will be the end of my video today. Just wanted to give you a bit of an update on our situation for all those asking. Of course, I will continue vlogging once I have more to share. I hope the next time I do it, it will be to tell you that we finally got the work permit and we are finally on our way. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and enjoy the time with your families. And I will bye. Yeah, so happy Christmas, happy New Year, and all the best to all of you. Bye.